Summer is here. It's a time for fun in the sun. And as school gets out, we know those temperatures are going to be going up. But you want to make sure it's also a safe and healthy time for you and your family. Unfortunately, the sunny days of summer can come with some serious dangers like food poisoning, drowning, heat-related illnesses, and of course, the dreaded sunburn. So here at 11 Alive, we want to help keep you and your family safe. First, across the country and here in Atlanta, a variety of crimes actually increase when the seasons change, and temperature isn't the only factor. So why does crime become more common over the summer months? Our Jerry Carnes explains.
The days get longer, the sun is more intense. Summer brings picnics, vacations, and higher odds you'll fall victim to crime. Study after study show when the calendar moves from spring to summer, a variety of crimes soar like the mercury inside a thermometer. Let's explore why. Rising temperatures are definitely a factor. Heat can cause irritability, added aggression, and make it difficult to sleep. Dr. Thaddeus Johnson is a criminologist with Georgia State University's Andrew Young School of Policy Studies. He says the heat can have a stronger impact in certain neighborhoods.
Think about your underserved and your disadvantaged communities. A lot of those places, they don't have air conditioning. It compels people to be outside. You have more opportunities for crime.
Dr. Johnson is also a former police officer. He says the heat can affect the very people paid to fight crime. Researchers in California found when the temperature rises above 85 degrees, officers are not as active when it comes to stopping vehicles.
It's 97 degrees outside. You have your vest on, you have this belt on. It wears on you.
Students are out of school. In homes where both parents work, that means young people who are unsupervised. Not all crimes increase in the summer. Car thefts are more common in the winter when drivers attempting to warm a car engine leave them running, only to return to an empty garage.
Well, if you're going to be spending any time at all outside, you better break out that sunscreen. We all know it helps protect us from the UV rays from the sun, but how does it actually work? Our Chesley McNeil explains the science behind sunscreen.
A lot of people don't realize how much damage the sun can do to your skin until they get a deeper look below the surface. Outside of completely avoiding the sun, the best way to protect yourself is applying sunscreen. And there's two types, one physical, the other chemical.
They work different ways. With your physical sunscreen, it's made up of zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. With your chemical sunscreen, they are made up of avobenzone and benzophenone. So both of the ingredients kind of work to block the UVB and UVA rays that you're getting from the sun.
There are three kinds of ultraviolet radiation, UVA, B, and C. UVC is mostly absorbed by the Earth's atmosphere, but the other two can be harmful.
UVB, however, is our primary cause of sunburn and skin cancer. UVA rays penetrate the skin so deeply that they cause premature aging and also can contribute to skin cancer.
The most common cause of cancer. Here's how they work. Physical sunscreens reflect the rays off the skin's surface, but chemical sunscreens go deeper.
Chemical sunscreens work by absorbing the heat and converting them into heat energy.
Bree recommends the physical sunscreen over chemical products as they are more likely to enter your bloodstream. Both are very effective if you apply the right amount.
We actually don't use enough. They say that the recommended amount to be healthy and completely covered is a shot glass full every 2 hours.
Wow.
So when you think of it that way, we're like, oh, we're not probably using enough.
Speaking of sunscreen, there's a good chance you have some left over from last summer, but can you still safely use that lotion or spray from the bottom of your beach bag? Let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the American Academy of Dermatology, and dermatologist Dr. Rutledge Forney. Now, you may not realize it, but sunscreen products are regulated as over-the-counter drugs by the FDA. That means they go through stability testing to prove their shelf life. For sunscreen, the FDA requires that products have an expiration date unless they've been proven to last at least 3 years. So if you buy a sunscreen with no expiration date, the FDA says you consider it good to use for up to 3 years after you purchase it. But if you can't remember when you purchased that sunscreen or the expiration date has passed, experts say it's time to toss it.
Once it's expired, you have no idea how much protection you're getting. And the whole point is to protect yourself from aging and skin cancers.
Another thing to keep in mind here, experts say the shelf life of sunscreen decreases at high temperatures. So we can verify that yes, sunscreen expires after 3 years unless otherwise listed in the expiration date. So make sure you use enough each time so you use it all up. As those temperatures rise, you'll want to be extra careful about the medications you're taking as well. Let's take a look at some of the effects of heat and the sun on certain medications and how you can best protect yourself and your family. A heat wave continues to crash over much of the U.S., and mixing those soaring temperatures with some medications could cause major problems.
Sometimes the reaction may take weeks to months for it to fade.
Dr. Reza Conroy with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says some medications that don't go well with the sun include some antibiotics, antidepressants, antihistamines, anti-inflammatories, and medications for blood pressure and diabetes. For diabetics, Conroy says bring a cooler when you're out and that the heat can degrade insulin and other medications.
Put the medication, especially insulin, in the cooler and keep it nice, cool, and dark.
Conroy says sun-related side effects of medications usually develop about 24 to 72 hours after sun exposure and may appear to be an exaggerated sunburn.
It looks red, sometimes scaly, sometimes itchy, and sometimes when it's really bad, blisters and spots that resemble hives.
When possible, Conroy says to take the medicine before bed instead of in the morning and follow the Sun Smart steps. Slip on clothing that covers the body, slop on SPF 15 to 30 or higher broad spectrum water resistant sunscreen, slap on a hat, seek shade, avoid the sun between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., and slide on sunglasses with UV protection and side panels. Well, it's as much of a sure thing in summer as longer, hotter days. The bugs are annoying, and they get much worse throughout the season. Chris Clackham shares how you can protect yourself.
Without a doubt, ticks, mosquitoes, and bees provide some of the peskiest parts of summer. And if stung or bitten, even the most dangerous.
So you should seek medical attention immediately if you start to develop difficulty breathing.
It's why so much emphasis is now being put on preventing bug bites.
Make sure that you're wearing appropriate clothing, such as long sleeve shirts, and tuck your pants into your socks so that mosquitoes don't bite you at the ankles.
Don't have open containers of water in the yard. Keep grass and weeds cut to keep the tick population down. And experts say load up on insect repellent.
The repellents that do well against mosquitoes also tend to do well against ticks.
Catherine Roberts is with Consumer Reports, who just recently tested commercial bug repellents and concluded the best have one of 3 ingredients: DEET, picaridin, or oil of lemon eucalyptus.
The longer it lasts, the better it scores on our tests.
Unlike natural repellents that last only a half hour or so, she says the good commercial brands last 6 to 7 hours.
You want to apply a thin layer to all of your exposed skin. You can also apply it on the outside of your clothes as well.
Finally, apply repellent on top of sunscreen to make this summer as pain-free and bug-free as possible. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Summer is often associated with grilling out season. 7 out of every 10 adults in the U.S. have a grill or smoker, but it can also mean an increased risk of fire or injury. So here's some tips for staying safe. First, only adults should be allowed at the grill. It should be off limit to children. Next, keep the food cold until grilling to avoid bacteria growth. You also want to avoid plastic, cardboard, or trash near a bonfire. Never use accelerants like gas or kerosene. And if you do get burned, you want to wrap it up in gauze and go see a doctor to let them check it out. Metro Atlanta has its fair share of dangerous temperatures during the summer, and high humidity can make the outdoors feel even warmer than the temperature indicates. It's called the heat index, and according to the American Academy of Pediatricians, a high heat index over 90 can be troublesome for children who may not know that they're starting to feel bad. Anything over 110 is hazardous, and pediatrician Dr. Joanna Dogloff says it's important to watch for signs like sluggishness, cool, clammy skin, muscle cramps. They could all be possible signs of heat exhaustion.
Any of these symptoms, just get them out of the heat into a cool setting. Once you get to the point of dizziness and fainting, that's when you're going to seek medical attention right away.
Heat exhaustion can progress to heat stroke, which is life-threatening and definitely an emergency. Well, on the hottest days, 11 Alive viewers have asked us time and time again if the temperature you see on your car is really accurate. Meteorologist Melissa Nord is here to answer that question for you.
We've all been there. It's a hot afternoon. You get in the car, you crank the engine, and it says 99, but it was only supposed to be 90 outside. There's science involved in why that reading is so high. There are many different methods to measuring air temperature, from the old school mercury thermometers where mercury expands as the temperature goes up, to standard wall thermometers like this one, which shows the temperature rising and lowering as a metal coil on the back expands and contracts. And more recently, digital thermometers and infrared thermometers. But what you may not realize is that most cars aren't equipped with a thermometer, but a thermistor, which stands for thermal resistor. Thermistors work in a similar fashion to thermometers, but rather than using a liquid like mercury, thermistors measure a change in resistance as a result of heat added or taken away. Now, thermistors are actually fairly accurate and inexpensive to make, but the reason why your car's temperature reading is wrong is because of where the thermistor is located. Manufacturers often put them at the front of the car, behind the grille, exposed to re-emitted heat from the roadway. Concrete and especially asphalt absorb a lot of solar radiation from the sun. On a 90-degree day, asphalt surface temperatures can soar to 140 degrees. So if you're parked in a sunny parking lot and you turn the car on, your thermistor is reading that re-emitted heat from the hot asphalt.
The World Health Organization says drowning is one of the leading causes of death globally for children. No one is immune to it, but doctors say basic swimming and water safety skills can reduce the risk of drowning. Safe Kids Worldwide says children should know these 5 water survival skills: how to step or jump into water over their head and return to the surface, turning around in the water and getting to safety, floating or treading water, combining breathing with forward movement, and how to get out of the water. Experts say it's important to remember that life jackets can be used by weaker swimmers of all ages at the pool, in lakes, or at beaches, and certain colors can help your kids be even safer. Megan Malaris explains.
Suntan, sweat, and seasonal bug bites. We are wearing the telltale signs of summer on our sleeves. But what color are those sleeves, and could the hue be the clue to stopping preventable swimming tragedies? The CDC reports drowning is the second leading cause of unintentional death among children, which is likely why this picture is garnering clicks, shares, and saves online. It's a chart claiming to prove neon-colored swimsuits are most visible in water. So is it true bright-colored suits are the safest to wear? Our sources are Alive Solutions, an organization of aquatics experts who conducted the test shown on that chart, and Renee Hicks Walker, certified swim instructor and former YMCA aquatics director. They conclude, yes, it is true.
As I think about it, I remember times when there's a lot of splashing, and if a child has on a light colored bathing suit, the splash can camouflage them in the water. So yes, bright colors are your thing.
Alive Solutions tested 14 colors of swimsuits in a swimming pool with a light colored bottom. The top row shows how they appeared in still water, the bottom with agitated water. The bright contrasting colors were most visible, especially neon pink and orange. Overall, the white and light blue swimsuits scored the worst. Dark gray and black were somewhat visible, but Walker suggested avoiding all neutrals.
The reason behind that is if you're in an open water setting, the tan or the black or the white could mimic some leaves or a limb or dirt. And someone may not see that because they think it's something that's part of the landscape.
Researchers ran the same test in 18 inches of lake water and found bright contrasting colors still did best. Neon orange and yellow and green were most visible. White did okay. However, neon pink did not show up as well as it did in the white pool bottom. So yes, it is true, neon-colored swimsuits are the best colors to wear to stay safe in water. If you're looking for the optimal color for both the pool and the lake, think neon orange. Remember, Alive Solutions conducted the lake testing in 18 inches of water. In 24 inches of water, all the colors disappeared. That is why it is crucial to keep swimmers above surface in lakes, oceans, and rivers. Life jackets are lifesavers. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
If you've got a pool in your backyard, you'll want to make sure you're keeping those chemicals out of the hands of the wrong person and making sure that you are using and storing them safely. So here are some tips for you. First, keep them in a dry, cool space. Next, when you open it up, make sure you're in an open area so you can avoid breathing in the toxins. And third, check chemical levels in the pool to make sure they don't get too high. If they do, it can cause skin problems like rashes. As temperatures crank up, make sure you download the 11 Alive mobile app. That's where you can find a local weather forecast for your neighborhood, as well as any chances of any storms or severe weather that may come up. It's free to download right now in your app store.